Hello and welcome to France 24's weekly music show. I'm Jennifer Ben Brahim. Coming up on today's show. The Franco-Egyptian-Iranian artist Yasmine Dubois, aka KUKII, has been part of France's avant-garde music scene for more than a decade. A recent trip to Cairo was more than just a homecoming. It was a transformative experience and the creation of a new musical identity. Her latest EP, Rare Baby, is inspired by music from North Africa and the Middle East, and is mixed with her trademark blend of emboldened pop. And she joins me in the studio to tell us more. KUKII, welcome to France 24.
Thank you.
Now, you've had a change of name in the last year. We used to know you for the last few years as Lafawndah, and now KUKII. Tell us more about who KUKII is.
Well, she's like someone who doesn't have an age, and she kind of reclaims this like family story that was kind of forgotten. So yeah, it's like a forever auntie vibes, but like she might be also a teenager. She sometimes very much a child, sometimes goes and gets some wisdom from the grandmothers. It's like on a not a straight timeline, I guess.
Like a worldly being.
Yes.
Now, I believe a name change comes after a trip to Cairo and reconnecting with your Egyptian roots. What was that experience like, and how did Cairo influence your sound, especially on this new EP?
I feel like the influence is also not always so literal. Like, of course, there's like the drums patterns and the scales and stuff, but also there is something about music today in Cairo, like this the pop sound of the street, you know, that's very punk, I say, chaotic and punk. And there's like an aspect of the vocals that's extremely unleashed and not very, not too worried about like slickness or prettiness, or there's an there's urgency in this. So I think the influences are also not as just the sonic one, but also like the spirit of how a voice is used. I think that was a big inspiration for me.
So a new Egyptian scene that we should definitely check out.
Yes.
And I believe that during this kind of homecoming of sorts, there's actually one family member, I think it was your aunt, I believe, who also was inspired by name change. What was that experience like connecting with this family member?
Well, I knew about her. She was the only person that I knew about. And for years, I came to Cairo with the image of her walking on the streets and thinking, oh, maybe she's KUKII, and maybe she's... And then I decided to change my name to her, but I hadn't met her. And it's only after I changed my name very recently that I finally met her. And we're extremely connected. I mean, she's been searching for me all her life, which I didn't know. And she's obsessed with music. She's obsessed with rye, Algerian rye. She's obsessed with Akon.
Wow.
Like she has a very strange... No. And she's kind of on her deathbed. It's also like the end of her life. But as soon as you play music, she's like, gets like her, like half of her body off the bed and starts dancing. So it's like this very strange thing where I had an intuition about her without knowing anything about her. And then I changed my name to her. And now I meet her and she's like an icon. So it's very interesting.
Well, I bet she's very flattered and honoured to, have you have her name.
Yes.
We're listening to one of the tracks off the EP. This is Tongue Torment.
Tongue torment, it's obscene. Put me on the lock and key. Tongue torment, it's obscene. Put me on the lock and key. Butter, cut my heart with no knife. Gorge my lips, eat the night. Loony, tweety, knocking at your door at 3. I'm a menace when I'm hungry. Tongue torment, it's obscene. Put me in the lock and key. Tongue torment, it's obscene. Put me on the lock.
So that was Tongue Torment by KUKII. KUKII, tell us about this video. It's very kind of witchy feel to it.
Well, I was inspired by Peter Greenaway, the cook, the chief, her wife and her lover, something like that. And also Tampopo, a Japanese movie from the 80s that I'm obsessed with. And I shot it in my house in Cairo. And it's about like cannibal love, I guess. Kind of like the obsessiveness of wanting to devour someone at the beginning and nothing's enough until we just, I don't know, maybe.
You're full.
Yes. And we kind of never are. So yeah. Also the realm of the senses was also a big inspiration. But yeah, it was shot in my living room in Cairo with a friend.
It's a great music video.
Yes.
Now, your father is one who's Egyptian,
Yes.
and your mother is Iranian, and you actually grew up in Tehran as a child. And I believe that was quite a musical experience. You're really kind of bathed in different musical genres. Tell us about this childhood.
The childhood was that I was living in my grandmother's house, my grandparents' house, and they were surrounded by artists. So they had this thing that was called the Open Tuesdays. So every Tuesday of their life for 40 years, without needing an invitation or anything, people would roll through their house from 4 p.m. to midnight. And it was full of musicians and filmmakers and writers. And so, yeah, I kind of, that was the vibes.
The beginning of kind of interest in
Yes, and
being an artist.
the music was, yeah, they were listening to quite a lot of classical music, but a lot of like Persian like classical music as well, and folk music. There was this singer that made me start singing called Sima Bina, who's like an icon from the region of my family. She spent like her entire life collecting songs, mountain songs, village songs that were never recorded before, that she recorded for the first time. She's like, yeah, a big inspiration for how she uses her voice and the vocal techniques and the melodies. And yeah, I think I started talking through singing her songs or something like that, you know? Yeah.
We'll move on to some other music releases this week, and something I think you're going to quite like to start with. And that's the return of US hip-hop legends and brothers Clips. Let God Sort Them Out is the duo's first new music in 15 years, and is produced by Pharrell Williams, who has produced all of Precedent Records. It was actually recorded at Pharrell's place of work, that is the Louis Vuitton headquarters. Take a listen to one of the tracks off the album, So Be It, which fittingly has some really beautiful Middle Eastern and North African instrumental samplings. Take a listen.
When I was born, grandmama could see it. I be Bentley driven and very strategic. RM sleeve, no diamonds are needed. Floors are heated, so be it, so be it. Fucking with P, get something to meet you. Your soul don't like your body, we help you free it. Then we wait for TMZ to leak it. It ain't no secret, so be it, so be it. Smoke. So be it.
Okay, so that was a very North African, Middle Eastern influenced sound from Clips. KUKII, what did you make of that song?
I love it. I mean, I love them. They're also a big inspiration. And I was I don't know, I took it very personal when I heard the opening. I was like, oh, I think it's, I can't remember the name of the artist, but there is a Egyptian artist Clip and also Saudi Arabia, yeah. But it's also such an era, this moment of like hip hop, borrowing some samples from from a lot of Egyptian music. Actually, it's a very 90s, early 2000 thing. So there's something I don't feel like people do that right now in hip hop so much. So there's also something of very nostalgic about that, going back to a moment I feel like in hip hop and R&B.
Yeah, well, hopefully that sound will come back, because it's true, it does really blend well with hip-hop sounds.
Yes.
Now, you're actually going to be performing at a very iconic location, like the Louis Vuitton Foundation headquarters. You're performing at Paris's Grand Palais on the 8th of July. Are you excited, nervous? What can we expect from that show?
Both. Excited and nervous, my favorite intersection. I've been working on a show, because I'm a little like, I think the concert is like not enough for me. So and I've been staging an opera the past few years with the partner, and so I'm like more into theater and like staging and thinking about light in a different way. So I've prepared a show for this new tour that's coming, where I'm thinking of the concert more like a little play.
Okay.
So yeah.
they'll be nice and kind of grandiose in the Grand Palais.
Yes,
So.
I can't believe that that's the premiere. It's kind of insane.
Well, your EP, Rare Baby, feels more than just like a musical project. It's kind of like a battle cry or a manifesto in these turbulent times that we're seeing with what's going on in, for example, Gaza. It seems more important than ever for artists to use their voice. Do you think that it's important for artists to use their platform to do so?
I don't see how you could exist right now without doing, or ever, as a matter of fact. It feels a little like death tone not to. And I think there's many ways to do that. I think there's literal ways, there's less literal ways, but also it's about creating a community of people who think the same, because I think it's a moment where there's a true colors moment where things are getting a little extreme, and we need to know who we're standing with and what are the values. And yes, free Palestine, free all the global South. And I hope that this summer, I don't know. I'm also very worried about Iran, obviously.
Yes,
yes. And I dream to one day play in Iran, a free Iran. But I also think that this dichotomy between having to choose between a regime we all hate and a new puppet regime is a false dichotomy. So I hope that one day I can go back to a free country where people are deciding for themselves.
Well, hopefully you'll have a homecoming of sorts in Tehran like you got to do in Cairo.
Yes. Yeah.
Now moving on to new music from American pop singer-songwriter Kesha. Her 6th studio album, Period, follows her decades-long legal battle with her former producer called Dr. Luke, where she actually sued him for sexual assault and battery. They eventually settled out of court, and this is actually her first record released through her own independent record label. Now, as expected from Kesha, the record is filled with very fun, hyper-pop songs, such as this next track, quite a racy, saucy song called Boy Crazy. Take a look.
I'm boy crazy. I'm boy crazy. Crazy boy. I'm so boy crazy.
Berlin to Bombay, New York to LA, Tokyo to Tahoe. Boys are my cocaine, bikers and the dumb bros, daddies and the gym hoes, prowling like a kitty cat. I want to get you all alone. Want to get you all alone.
So Kesha's heading out on a very interestingly named Tits Out tour this month, accompanied by US band The Scissor Sisters. Now we've come to the end of the show, and I want to thank today's guest, KUKII, for coming to speak to us in the studio. A reminder to stream or get a real-life copy of her EP, Rare Baby. You can catch her at the Grand Palais on the 8th of July. Before we go, just enough time to tell you about Nigerian superstar Burna Boy and his new album called No Sign of Weakness. It's out this month and follows on from his sold-out stadium show at Paris' Stade de France back in April. We'll leave you with the track Tata, featuring US rapper Travis Scott. For more arts and culture, you can head to our website. There's more news coming up on France 24 right after this.
I might split 3, 4, 5 on the bag. She can't hop in the lane, but she bad. Splash all week, yeah, that for gas.